Hansel and Gretel's Forest Adventure. Once upon a time, in a small cottage at the edge of a forest, lived a brother and sister named Hansel and Gretel. Their father was a kind woodcutter, but times were hard and food was scarce. One evening, their stepmother said, "There is not enough food for all of us. We must leave the children in the forest." Hansel overheard the plan and whispered to Gretel, "Don't worry, I'll think of something." That night, Hansel collected shiny white pebbles from the garden and hid them in his pocket. The next morning, their stepmother took them deep into the forest. Hansel, clever as always, dropped the pebbles along the path. When night fell, the children followed the glistening trail back home. But the stepmother was determined. The next day, she took them even farther into the forest. This time, Hansel had no pebbles. Instead, he used breadcrumbs from their last piece of bread to mark the way. Sadly, the birds ate the crumbs, and Hansel and Gretel became lost. As they wandered deeper into the woods, they stumbled upon something extraordinary, a house made entirely of candy. The walls were gingerbread, the roof was chocolate, and the windows were sparkling sugar. Their eyes widened with wonder, and their tummies rumbled with hunger. "Let's have a little taste," Hansel said, breaking off a piece of chocolate from the roof. Just as Gretel plucked a sugar flower from the window, the door creaked open. Out stepped a frail old woman. "Oh, you poor dears," she said with a kind smile. "Come inside and I'll give you a warm meal and a soft bed." Hansel and Gretel eagerly followed her. But the old woman was not as kind as she seemed. She was a wicked witch. She locked Hansel in a cage and made Gretel cook and clean for her. "You will make a fine feast," the witch cackled, poking Hansel to see if he had grown plump. But Gretel was clever too. She pretended to be clumsy, dropping pots and spilling water to delay the witch's plans. When the witch demanded Gretel check the oven, she had an idea. "I don't know how to," Gretel said. "Can you show me?" The witch grumbled and leaned into the oven to demonstrate. In a flash, Gretel pushed her inside and slammed the door shut. She freed Hansel, and together they explored the witch's house. Inside a chest, they found glittering jewels and gold coins. Filling their pockets, they made their way out of the forest, guided by the chirping of friendly birds. When they returned home, their father was overjoyed to see them. He had been heartbroken since they disappeared. The wicked stepmother was gone, and with the treasure, the family never went hungry again. Hansel and Gretel had faced danger and outsmarted evil, proving that courage and clever thinking can light the way, even in the darkest woods. And they lived happily ever after.